Navigating a cancer diagnosis is not easy. Thankfully, there's a part of your medical team to help guide you through your treatment plan and support you with what comes next. Nurse navigators are something I had not heard of before my diagnosis, but I soon learned they are a very important part of your care team. Joining me this morning is my nurse navigator, Jen Witt. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
So first off, talk to me about what you do. What does a nurse navigator all do?
Well, I am an oncology nurse. I've been an oncology nurse for 26 years and in this role for 14.
Wow.
And so we are a group of dedicated, we have 4 oncology nurses, 1 dedicated social worker for our outpatients, and then also a financial navigator and an adolescent and young adult coordinator. So together we really are there just to help. We get invited into patients' lives oftentimes at the beginning of a diagnosis, sometimes in the middle, but really what we're there to do is just bear witness and honor the patient's story. People are more than their diagnosis, and so it's really just meeting people where they're at, helping them to find answers, encouragement, empower them to find a way from A to B. Especially when you have this loss of control and uncertainty, and just helping them get connected to resources and things either within the cancer center, but also outside in the community, and really just help them to, again, feel like they can get on the other side and have the confidence to get on the other side of this.
Absolutely, that is huge. As a nurse, you know the medical aspect, but talk to me about the different hats you wear as a nurse navigator, because cancer can sometimes be much more than medical.
Yeah, a lot of what we do is really understanding where people are coming from, because like you said, cancer sometimes is a moot point when it's affected their employment, trying to keep the roof over their heads. They're worried about their children. So really, as a nurse, yes, we are there to help answer questions to reinforce their chemotherapy regimen, or what to anticipate for surgery, who and when to call, when they're having problems. But it's also addressing other barriers of distress, whether that's physical, emotional, financial. We may help patients to find resources either to help them with their insurance, transportation, lodging, mental health services. It also may be, how do I talk to my kids? How do I talk to my employer? What are my rights? What other resources will help me? I'm a caregiver for my elderly parents. How do I maybe get some home health care, but yet allow myself to focus on my treatments, but it helps my family at home. So we really are there just, again, to meet patients where they're at and address the unique needs that then help them to focus on their treatments and help focus on their ability to thrive and get through things as well as possible and as positively as possible.
Absolutely. How many patients do you help?
On an average in the year, we are probably referred over 500 patients a year.
Wow.
Each of us sees unique populations, so I may focus more on breast, whereas others focus on colorectal or hematologic, lung, gynecologic cancers, but really we are a free service. So patients may call us, families may call us, doctors refer us. We oftentimes are referred patients maybe when they first have heard the diagnosis from the radiologist, often like after a mammogram, or maybe a colonoscopy. And one of our nurses, Jenny, will then go in and meet people in the hospital after surgery. And then we follow patients in as much or as little as that patient may want. Sometimes I like to tell patients I'm not a have to. We are just an additional layer of support to, again, help answer questions or be a consistent person as they journey through their cancer treatments, whether that's surgery or any combination of chemo and radiation, but also then into survivorship, and just helping patients, again, find their way through that, and really find meaning again, find hope, but really reveal what they have inside. You've done the hard part. You're doing all the heavy lifting. We just get to be a cheerleader, or sometimes a kick in the pants, or an encourager, or again, just helping them find answers. Whatever is needed, we try to be that, and really just be of hope and bring light to it.
Such an important thing that you do. Thank you for that. And a real quick takeaway for viewers, because a cancer journey is not just a patient, it's also a caregiver or family members or friends. What advice do you give to them?
I think one of the biggest things as a friend, a family member, as a neighbor is just don't let your fear of saying the wrong thing be greater than your love for that person. Just show up. It doesn't have to be in huge ways, but it can be just showing up consistently with a note or a text, or instead of putting the onus on the patient to tell you what they want, because sometimes as a patient, you're like, oh, I don't want to bother anybody, or no, I'm fine. Just say, I'm going to bring you some soup at 5. I'll just put it on the doorstep,
Sure.
Or I'm going to bring you a frozen meal, or here's some gift cards, here's some gas cards. That way the onus is not, again, on the patient, but that you're just continuing to shine that love and support and let them know they're not alone. And I think that's more than anything that we as a community, as providers, as nurses, as everybody who is in the Cancer Center, I think our goal is always to just let people know they're not alone and they don't have to do this alone, and that there's a safe place to land and a place to encourage.
Absolutely. Well, Jen, thank you so much for
thank
being with us this
you.
morning
Thank
and
you.
for all that you do.
Thank you.
You can watch this full interview and catch other stories on WHO13.com under the Surviving Breast Cancer tab. We'll be right back.